Hello YouTube, this is Neon, and today I'm going to be doing another episode of From Coping to Thriving with Life, in which I talk about my personal life and how I'm doing just that. I'm going to be talking about a fight that literally almost turned into a physical altercation that I had at Food for Less, where I go and shop. And I want to talk about how that and a few similar experiences led to my beginning to mature and beginning to grow and beginning to beginning to learn to behave humanely under all circumstances. Before I get to that really quickly, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. Should you subscribe, and I hope that you do, when you click the subscribe button, a little bell is going to appear to the right of the subscribe button. Please click on that bell, which will open a box that will allow you to select the option of receiving notifications from my channel, which will let you know whenever I upload a new video. If you do this, it would mean the world to me. Alright, so I had gone to Food for Less to go shopping, and in an area where along the perimeter of the store, near the meat, it is a fairly open area. They would stack large boxes where people, not boxes, but like huge pallet sections of food where people could buy. And in between these large stacks of food, I had parked my shopping cart, partially blocking the area in between. And this gentleman wanted to get right through that area. And so what he did was he kind of brusquely shoved my cart out the way. I noticed it because I could hear it. And when I saw him, I gave him a dirty look. And he basically told me, "What the hell are you looking at? Why are you looking at me like that? You worried just because I touched your cart?" And I said probably something like, "You don't scare me," or I said something retaliatory back, to which he decided he was going to beat my ass. And he came up on me, basically said, "I'm going to beat your ass." And he came up on me to beat me up. When he did, before he could get even within striking range, I pulled out my pepper spray like this, and because I was going to pepper spray him. And when I did, he thought it was a gun, and his reaction was, it was actually kind of comical now that I think about it. I scared the crap out of him. He might have had a little in his drawers. So he was furious about that, did not come close to me again, but continued to cuss at me, called me the F word, pretended like he was going to throw a jar of mayonnaise or something at me. I never flinched. He knew that he couldn't get any response out of me because I really didn't care about him cussing at me too much. I just didn't want him to hit me, and the pepper spray would have taken care of that should he decided to try to hit me. So then he pretended that he had a gun, and he told me he was going to shoot me. Initially I believed him, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose my life right now. He didn't have a gun, although he pretended like he was going to pull one out. I called 911 immediately, and he continued to cuss at me for being a sissy to call 911. Thank God that we have someone we can call under these circumstances. And he hightailed it out the store. It just so happened that there was a small group of, like, right out of, like, basically newly minted police officers. They were just outside Food for Less, so they immediately caught him. They told me, they said, we will arrest him if you want, because claiming to have a gun and threatening to shoot someone is a crime, whether or not they actually have a gun. And they said, it's up to you. If you feel that he's a threat to you right now, we will not release him. We'll take him to jail. If you feel like he's not going to harm you, we'll let him go. It's up to you. So I told them to let him go, because I didn't think he was a harm to me. And honestly, I struggle with mental illness, and stepping in courtrooms is really hard for me and traumatic. And I didn't want to have to step into a courtroom to possibly testify against this guy. So that was an experience that I learned that if somebody touches my basket, don't give them a dirty look. And don't worry about it, who cares, right? What led to me being out of control like that, because in LA, not everybody in LA behaves like that, but there are people in the big city that are like that. They're not polite, and if you call them on their impoliteness, they'll beat you up. They'll threaten you. If they, and in his case, I'm assuming he must have just known I was gay or picked up on that, because he's immediately calling me the F word. That may be a motive as well for violence. But it's good to let those small things pass, right? Like somebody shoving my cart. Around this time, I had lost my faith in humanity because some tragedies had befallen some loved ones. These tragedies had happened prior to this encounter with this gentleman at Food for Less. And I was devastated. I was beyond depressed. I went through a depression that lasted about a year. Only way I was able to get to sleep was from medical marijuana, which I had to smoke every day before I went to sleep. And I nearly lost the will to live when I found out what had happened to my loved ones. And as I said, I lost my faith in humanity. I was out in public and I would be disrespectful, I would be rude. I had men who wanted to beat me up. One person had threatened to kill me, because in LA, if you rude, some people will want to kill you because you didn't say excuse me or something, right? So, or because in my case, I was being rude and bitchy. And because I had lost my faith in humanity, I was not behaving well. Plus, I struggled with mental illness. So yeah, I was rude and bitchy in public, and a lot of times with guys that could whoop my ass. You know, with mental illness, it's not something that we can control. It wasn't like I was just being rude with people that I was twice their size. So I am beginning to learn, and from that point on, after being threatened to be beaten up and killed, and this guy threatening to shoot me, I began to learn that no matter what I've gone through, no matter what tragedy has struck me or my loved ones, or how low I have fallen in terms of even almost losing the will to live, that I still have to behave humanely in public for my own safety, but as well to show respect to other people. And I'm still learning that through meditations, through positive affirmations, through prayer, through visualizations, and there's this whole process of like rebuilding my soul and rebuilding my mind. So I'm happy to say that I haven't had an experience that was that volatile, that was that potentially violent since. I have had some rather abrasive situations, and I admit in all of them, had I behaved more humanely and kindly, they wouldn't have been abrasive. But they certainly weren't on that level. So I'm growing slowly but surely. LA is a crowded city, and I will tell you this much, that people will bump into me, people will step on my toes, people will not say excuse me, and more often I am able to forgive that. I am able to not be like that guy and say, you could say excuse me, or something to attack back. I'm learning to be more forgiving if somebody pushes my car and all this kind of stuff, to really avoid these potentially volatile situations. And that's what I'm going through in my pursuit of thriving with life. So again, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, comment, commercials, recommend my videos. Do one or more of those things. And please be sure to hit the bell if you do subscribe, and the little box that says receive communications from this channel when I upload new videos. It would make my day. Thank you. Best wishes.